And then, of course, if it does come to your backhand a bit weak, you can just do the UFO shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, very easy. Just do the UFO.
So we've got our first guest here out in Singapore Smash on the podcast, Sabine Winter. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for the invitation.
No problem.
Welcome to the show. Sabine, I'm loving your Instagram at the minute. Sabine is mad series. Fantastic.
There's not many players who describe themselves as that, so it's pretty brave. I like it.
Well, yes, but MAD also stands for motivated and determined.
Oh,
See, I didn't know
forgot
that.
about that part. Yeah.
Yes.
That is
like it.
cool. And so obviously the big thing, obviously the big topic we want to kind of get into with you is which a lot of players have never really done, or not that I've seen, is a complete change in style, right? So you've gone from being a two-wing topspin player, obviously dominant with your forehand, to now using anti-loop.
Correct, and that's why the episode is called Sabine is mad, but as it seems a bit crazy, I'm sure it also is a bit crazy, but MAD stands for motivated and determined, and yeah, I try hard, practice a lot, and see where this experiment ends.
That is awesome. What was it that gave you the idea, or maybe a few things that gave you the idea to actually go for it and make the jump?
Well, there were a few things that got together that in the end I really did it. Of course, I could see that the Indians were doing quite well with their long pips, or also Aika Mukherjee with her anti-top, and that in table tennis often if you play a bit differently that it's somehow good, and to just play normal it's especially very difficult against the Asians. Then I have been playing table tennis for so many years, doing the same thing every day, training every day, always the same stuff, and it in a way got a bit boring, and I somehow thought I want a new challenge, I want to try out something new, and I thought that anti or long pips, at the beginning I was thinking about long pimpos, could actually suit to my game, to my playing style, as I have quite a good forehand, I'd say. I can move quite well with my legs, and I thought maybe the anti could help me to play my forehand more often, and I thought, yeah, let's give it a try and see where this ends.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. And obviously your forehand is really, really strong. So actually, yeah, it's a very good style to have if you can cause a lot of problems with, let's say, the Chinese players with the anti-spin. How has your performances been so far? You played in the German league recently with the anti-spin?
Yes, well, so far I've only played in the German league. I haven't played any competitions, so this is my first international
This is
tournament.
exciting.
Yeah, exciting.
I'm also a bit excited about it, but it's been going a lot better than I had expected. I'm playing the anti for a bit over 2 months now. I had my first match in December. After 3 weeks of playing anti, I could somehow directly win it,
Wow.
where I was really very surprised. But of course I'm still playing a lot of forehand, and I'm also twiddling, so I'm also playing the normal rubber on the backhand, and I'm not playing that much anti yet. But so in a way I still have a lot to learn, but I guess it's good because I can still improve, and even though I'm not that good just with the anti yet, I can already win matches. So I do still believe that this idea isn't that bad, and that it can end in a nice story.
I agree. And we actually, yeah, you were saying about twiddling, and also we've seen the UFO shot with the reverse side of the bat, right?
Your UFO shot, like as you call it, is so good that actually I was like, that's a normal backhand topspin. Where's the anti? I was like, oh no, actually you're doing the topspin this way.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
amazing.
I'm doing it this way. I was trying out some things, and I was also thinking I need a solution for when I don't want to play the anti, or if I'm too far from the table but I can't twiddle fast enough. And then somehow I had the idea to try this out, and it actually worked out directly. And I guess this could in some time be an important shot, so that I can still play away from the table, like both sides topspin, because my style has always been that I've actually been a step away from the table, which doesn't fit so well with the anti in the moment you go away from the table, but like this I think I can still play away from the table. I can also play at the table with the anti, and I guess I will have quite a lot of mixes in my style at the end.
I think it's great.
For sure. And are you watching the India players and stuff at the moment and kind of watching how they're playing, or have you got a coach that's kind of teaching you how to use this anti-spin, or are you just trying to you're just winging it? You know what I mean? Like,
make it up as you go along. Yeah.
Because there's no kind of like manual for this, right? You know what I mean?
I think actually everything. I'm watching some matches of the Indians, also from Luca. As he's playing
Luca.
Antti. I was also writing a bit with Luca. He gave me a few tips.
Ooh, nice.
I have a coach in my club. We are doing a lot of individual training and just trying to find out together how the shots actually work and also what could suit best to my game, as I will for sure never have the typical game for a player with long pimps or anti-top. I'll in the end play, I guess, completely different. I have something in my mind. If this will really work out in the end, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm trying out a lot with my coach. I'm watching matches, and then I'm also sometimes just having fun, enjoying
experiment
playing.
a little bit.
Yes, like the UFO.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think coming back to like something you said earlier about like making it fun as well, because it is quite fun at this stage now. You're kind of like figuring out what works. Like, okay, this is good. All right, that's working for me. And like you said, you've played obviously for a long time. Like all of us, you kind of get to a point where you said you know you've done it over and over and over. There's not much variety there. Whereas now it's kind of like something fresh and new, I guess. So it's a bit more interesting, maybe.
Yes, it is. As I'm training a lot of different things. Also, one day I will start training a bit more defense, as when I'm away from the table, I guess I'll also need a defense ball. I'll practice the UFO. I'm practicing blocking with Antti. This, I don't know how you should call this.
Yeah, like the push shot. Yeah.
Yes. And also just the combination between Antti and forehand. The forehand also is a bit different if you play Antti on the backhand, and like you need to adapt a lot more than I always had to, and so training just becomes a bit different, and especially I need to really concentrate a lot because everything's new. So now I always really notice when my focus is gone, because then I can't play a ball on the table.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm curious, what tips did Luca give you? Because obviously Luca's
she might have been able to give away the secrets.
Yeah, just like, because I like the way he was like kind of picking his brains. Okay, let's see what he's kind of been thinking with it. And
well, okay, first I also ask a bit to the material, what he's playing, and so on. But then I once posted a anti-block, which was a good block in the end, but my movement went down too much. Normally you should just hold. So he told me it's very important that I don't do too much this chop block, which you do more with the pimples.
Yes.
But with the anti, you should actually hold. So
less a bit more.
Yes. The less you do, the better, actually.
Yeah, because it's kind of killing that contact.
Which is still pretty difficult for me to not do anything, as I've been always doing something with the ball all those years. But afterwards I was concentrating on trying to not do anything. Actually, sounds pretty easy, but somehow it's not.
Well, you know what actually does anti-spin do to the ball? Let's say there's some listeners listening who don't know what anti-spin is. Or I think a lot of people come up against long pimples. We understand that it reverses the spin, but what does the anti-spin do?
Well, in a way, it is similar to the long pips. I have an anti, like a glanty. It's no grip at all. So long pips still have like a little bit of grip. So actually the anti just turns around the spin.
Yes.
Like I need spin from the opponent.
Yeah.
If I don't get any spin, I cannot really work with anything. So I depend on the ball of the opponent. But I think like what normally is good to play against anti is, of course, you play with no spin. But this again is what I always like for my game so far. So if someone only plays no spin, he should be ready that I come and attack.
The forehand's ready.
The thing, So you never know. Maybe like this style that you've gone for, all out attacking for all your life. And maybe that's the way to become world-class with the antis, because now you've got the game to be able to attack, like really good, world-class level. And now you've got the anti coming in. The combination is kind of very crazy effective.
Yeah, I just need to learn the anti.
Just the really key part now. I've got to be good with anti.
If I know how to play the anti, I think I'll be good. And so far, I don't know that yet.
Sung in show, you better watch out.
No, I think like I feel like the game as well, like in the past 5 years, we've talked about it a lot. Like it's a lot more backhand orientated now. Like there's a lot less, like with your style, you pivot a lot with your forehand. Your forehand's always been kind of your weapon, right? And there's kind of a lot less of that now, I'd say. There's a lot more backhand to backhand exchanges. People are flicking more and then coming with the backhand rally. So again, it kind of maybe it's going with that modern time of, not having to play backhand, but something different, and then still being able to use your forehand.
That's the idea.
Oh, great. So I'm not talking rubbish then.
And then, of course, if it does come to your backhand a bit weak, you can just do the UFO
Yeah,
shot.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, very easy. Just do the UFO. But yeah, that's the idea. But at the moment, it's not so easy yet to always make the right decision and play the right ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that in a while, when I've played more with the anti, that this gets easier and easier, and maybe one day I'll play automatically the right stuff in the right moment.
Sure. Sabine, you're 2-time German national champion, which is awesome.
And 6 times doubles, right? 6 or 7?
6 or 7, maybe even 7.
7 now.
I think it's 7.
It's definitely 7. You've got that on your
Just
wall.
being modest. And 2 times European doubles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. Some might say you're a doubles expert.
Some would say that, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think you can still have those doubles success with the new style?
I think yes, but first I need to also learn it. In doubles also it's different again with the anti, and at the beginning I had no idea what's happening in doubles because I also don't know what my partner's playing.
Yeah.
So I was really confused even more than in my singles. And also for the partner, it's a bit more difficult if we just play once together because the partner gets different balls after I played anti, which they also need to get used to. But I think if you train the doubles a bit, that this could also be a really good doubles with anti. But maybe I still need a bit of time.
And what is your actual goal now with this? Do you have some long-term dreams and visions going?
Well, I want to be better with anti than I've been with my normal style. And once I'm better with anti than with my normal style, I'm sure I'll increase my goals. But this is still
That's the
quite
first
a
goal.
way, and this is the first goal. And I'll keep practicing.
And it's a pretty big first stage to have your first tournament, right? A smash event here in Singapore. So are you looking forward to the event? I guess you don't know the draw or anything yet, but yeah, obviously excited to get going.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also a bit excited about it, and I'd also be a bit nervous, even though I guess I don't really have so much to lose. But I already heard a lot of players who came up to me and said, "Oh, I need to watch your match. I need to watch your match."
That's cool.
I think I will have never had that many spectators
that's
in
true.
the first round match. And I can remember my first match in the league where I, of course, also had nothing to lose because I did not expect to win after playing with anti 3 weeks, but still I was really nervous because I knew everyone's watching and I should better not lose too high because everyone will say, "Oh, what is she doing there?" And so I guess I'd also be a bit nervous now at the first match on an international stage, but I'm also looking forward to it.
Yeah, those nerves, it makes you excited. That's what's going to get you pumped and ready. I was going to say, your Instagram is really good, your page. Like, I think that's why a lot of people are aware of you're using anti-spin. There's a lot of fun videos coming up. You're commentating. You're doing a lot of good stuff. Have you not thought about making a YouTube channel? And then, just following your journey via YouTube? Because I think it would be really good, very successful.
She'll get more views than us, don't tell her that.
Just creating more competition for ourselves. Anna's Lynn's got YouTube now. Everyone, but a lot of players are getting YouTube, and it's really cool because it's a nice way to.
Just thought at the moment I haven't really got enough followers.
No,
but I was once thinking about it, but somehow I thought I start on Instagram and see if the people like it. But maybe
it's
if
I
you
think
tell
they
me
will.
now,
I think you'd
definitely.
you'd
on YouTube.
really quickly grow it. Because you're already a big name in the sport. Like you're a known, you're a known player, and for you to do that and make YouTube video, I think people will be really, because it's interesting. It's not just like, you're doing a YouTube channel of, normal training. It's actually following kind of your change in your style and like what you're doing. And like I said, I've been watching the Instagram and you doing the voiceover. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'll think about that again, and maybe in the future I'll have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, definitely. I think it would be great. And no, it's really cool to follow. It's going to be very interesting.
So in terms of like the rest of, obviously you've got Singapore Smash, and then the rest of the year, I guess you have more Bundesliga games coming up, right? So what we now? So second half of the season, I guess.
Second half of the season, our club is pretty safe in the playoffs. So then when the playoffs start, this gets interesting for the club again. Until then, I try to practice a bit more, improve my game, and of course, I'll also have one or the other international tournament coming up.
Awesome, yeah.
Because I also need a lot of matches now to improve and see how real matches actually look like, because training matches are different.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
normal matches again, so that I know which problem is coming up and how to solve it, because sometimes I don't have the idea in the match, I have it afterwards.
Yeah.
But more often the same situation happens, the faster I'll have the solution in my head, I guess.
100%, yeah. And I mean, even forget the ante, but just in terms of like analyzing matches, even before you were using ante, like, is there a certain way you do it? You obviously really watch videos. Is there what's your like go-to way of analyzing, okay, this is working, that's not working?
Well, to be honest, I've always watched my opponents before a match, until I started playing ante, because now I thought, okay, I have no idea.
Totally different.
Yes, what they will play against me.
And they probably
ante,
also don't know.
I've never played against them with ante, it'll be different. So at the moment, I'm not analyzing my opponents, because I know it's just a different game now. But of course, with the time, when I played against them more often and I play the same opponent again, I will watch this video again.
What gives you the motivation? Because I've seen a lot of your different videos and stuff on Instagram, and you do running, cycling. You've played table tennis on like a rope wire, which is
the tightrope.
Insane. The tightrope.
Yeah,
I mean, like that must take a lot of training and like skills to like, even be able to do that. And like, I feel like you're a super athlete. I feel like whatever sport you would have chosen, you probably would have got to the top just by the way you are with your mindset.
Thank you.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I feel like everything you seem to do is good. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I have the feeling that I do somehow learn new sports quite fast. Yes, I've always also liked coordination challenges. For sure, changing to ante at this stage of my career is the most challenging challenge I've had, but maybe also that I've always done so many different things can help a bit, that I also learn this a bit faster. But yeah, I always enjoy trying out new stuff, and I guess that's also a bit the reason why after all these years I want something new now, and I'm also enjoying it.
Have you always been determined since like a young age to just get better, just improve and learn new skills?
Yeah, I think if for example, the slackline, I think I got it at the age of about 15.
Okay. Wow.
The first time I wanted to go on it, I was just shaking like crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
And I just gave up after 10 seconds and told my dad, I'll not learn this in 10 years. Then I had school holidays and I had nothing to do. I was lying on the settee and I had a look out of the window and there was the slackline, and then I said, no, I need to try this out now. So then I went to the garden. I fell off the slackline, of course, a few times, had a few bruises, but actually learned it pretty fast. After a week, I could go on the line forwards, backwards.
Wow.
And then I got a new challenge from my dad. He said, if you can juggle on the slackline with 3 balls and walk 10 meters, you'll get 1,000 euros from
Oh, wow.
At that moment, actually, he couldn't find any videos from someone juggling on the slackline, so he thought it was not possible. But slackline was also quite a new sport. So, of course, nowadays there are loads of people juggling on the slackline and doing crazy tricks. But at that time, he just thought, this is not possible. So he offered me 1,000 euros.
What a mistake that was.
That's a big mistake, because then I got on the slackline and I juggled. And
Next challenge, Dad, please.
But the next challenge got a bit too difficult. He said, on the unicycle, on the slackline.
Oh my goodness.
I said, okay, no, this is too much. I gave up on that challenge.
Wasn't there, I might be mistaken, but wasn't there something where you carried a table on your back up a mountain and played? Am I right there?
Yes, but it was like a small table.
Yeah, but it still was pretty heavy by the looks of it, I mean.
Yeah, maybe 20 kilos, all the stuff.
She just says it like it's nothing. Yeah, just 20 kilos.
Oh yeah, and then we played a bit of table tennis on the mountain.
That's really cool.
I haven't seen slackline. Slackline is a sport then, right? But what is you saying?
Yes, there are some people doing somersaults and crazy tricks on it, or there are some highliners who do free solo, so without any safety.
Wow.
So if they fall,
Yeah.
That's it. Really?
That's it then, yeah.
What?
I'd not do that.
Yeah.
I'm not that mad.
Because there's those free fall climbers, isn't there, that climb mountains
Yeah.
and they have no
Yeah.
harnesses. And watch their neck.
I don't understand that. 'Cause
It
you
doesn't make sense.
You must have to have a certain type of mentality, right? Like
You
no
need to
fear
be
in that moment.
Mad.
Yeah.
More than me.
That's going to be our next series after Anti-Spin. Sabine Mad Series 2. But you know those guys, they actually climb the mountains with harnesses first to learn all the moves.
Right.
Then they climb it without the harnesses on.
Okay,
So
yeah,
like they
makes
learn
sense.
the patterns, but it is insane. Like
It is.
I think
really
for
is.
most people, you're going to be so nervous that you're like
Yeah.
you're sweating, you're making like you're tense, you're going to make a mistake, and that's your lot.
doesn't make
Sure,
sense.
if you make a mistake and then life's over,
Yeah.
you'd get nervous. Yeah.
Imagine that in table tennis. It's
Yeah.
like,
I'd be nervous playing my first match with Antti here in Singapore. but
yeah,
I
That's-
still have a nice life after.
exactly. Yeah. we've actually talking of Singapore. We've spoken to a lot of the players, and they're obviously a lot of them are like, oh, it's great to come to this tournament because Singapore's so cool. We love to like do the sightseeing afterwards and spend time here. I guess you've been here before, so you've probably done all that, but it's still like a pretty cool place to visit, right?
Yes, I like Singapore. It's a nice city. And I also always enjoy the time when I'm finished with the tournament. But of course, I'd prefer to
Be
still
longer
have
in.
matches for a long time or even until the end and do sightseeing another time.
For sure. And who knows, you know, with the new style.
Who knows?
Let's see.
Maybe my opponents will be surprised too.
I think so, yeah.
Germany, of course, you're from Germany. Just has such a great system for creating table tennis players. France as well. But what do you think that Germany's done, and for you as well, in terms of the club structure and just improving and creating new Sabine Winters one day, you know?
By creating new Sabine Winters with Antti first, I guess I need to be
It definitely could happen,
successful
though.
with
Yeah.
Antti, But
Yeah.
then who knows?
So it's going to be like, you know, thousands of new kids with just anti-spin on the backhand, which I hear is happening in
Sometime
India.
Modern table tennis and
Yeah.
backhand.
Yeah.
UFO.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, you joke, right? But it's like Truls, as an example, right? He's got quite a unique style. If some would say, like the punch, a lot of chop blocks, quite creative. But like, I know a lot of people in Sweden, like the younger generation now, like obviously inspired by him, silver medal in Olympics, and they're kind of maybe not copying, but taking elements from his style. So. And that's always, and the same in France. Maybe now there's going to be more pen holders after Felix, you know. So it does kind of follow in that way, right?
Yeah, I guess first I need to win some matches.
Of course,
before
yeah.
this can happen. But if in 10 years' time the small kids are playing Antti and UFO,
We know why.
then I know it was a good idea to change.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So when you were like, you know, growing up, starting out in Germany, what sort of age did you kind of get into it seriously and start training properly?
Well, I was never drilled to play table tennis from my parents. So actually, I've always only played because I enjoyed training and I trained a lot less than others in my age. I've actually only started at the age of about 12 to train a bit more. I then started to train 3 times a week, which is also not
Not
much
a lot.
compared to
No, 100%.
Yeah, interesting.
others. But the first time that I played table tennis was when I was 6 with my dad in the cellar. And since then I've always played, but I've never trained that much until I was 16. Then my parents said, or they gave me the opportunity to either continue doing A-levels or to give it a go at table tennis. And then I decided I'd give it a go at table tennis. The first months I got a lot better because
Yeah.
I trained a lot more. And I was quite successful. So I continued playing
That's
table
really
tennis
cool.
because I was also enjoying it. My A-levels I actually did 10 years later when I had
right.
a shoulder injury. I went back to school, did my A-levels, then I had a surgery, and then I started
Yeah.
playing table tennis again.
I've said in the past, like maybe that's what's kind of helped or made you been able to continue like playing longer, because I know a lot of players who at a young age play tons and tons and they get like demotivated, they're fed up, they've already done thousands of hours by the time they're, I don't know, 15, and then they're kind of like, oh, it's tough to continue, you know.
Yeah.
Like I've said in the past, like I had injuries for like a couple of years sometimes, but then maybe if I hadn't had those injuries and I was training that whole time, I would have got fed up and stopped and not enjoyed table tennis, but because I wanted to come back to it.
Can be, because at when I was younger, I did not train so much. Now I train a lot, and now you can see I got a bit fed up of it, so that's why I'm playing.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing.
Now
Yeah,
I have an aim with Antti, and I'm motivated again, and I'm enjoying it. But I can imagine that if you start playing really a lot from a very young age on, that it gets boring.
yeah, because it is. As much as it's very different, it's a repetitive sport. You have to do the same stuff over and over to be good, like on the shots and on the drills, and so yeah, it's tough.
You've mentioned your dad a few times. Has he been like a real influence to your career? Because I feel like he's given you boundaries, and then been like, not boundaries, but like, hey Sabine, go and learn this new skill. He's not kind of like
Pushy, yeah.
He's you know what I mean. He's like, hey, go on this tightrope, go go balance on it,
Go and juggle.
find a way. It's really cool. Like I like that. It seems like
like my dad is also pretty sporty. Like my parents, they are both sporty, but they've never played table tennis on a high level. But my brother and we were encouraged from a young age on to try out all the different sports. And I guess at the age of 10, we probably already played more different sports than most of the adults.
Yeah.
So I've always been doing a lot of different stuff, and this is for sure because of my dad, because he always gave me the opportunity to try out the different things. So I guess he had a lot of input in my sport life.
Yeah, because there's actually a lot of like research into when kids are young, trying lots of different sports is actually really good for them rather than specializing on one too soon. So I mean, like we've studied it. Like it's really actually really important for kids to try lots of different things, and it's probably helped you out a lot of like learning different skills that you've obviously applied into table tennis, like the way you learn things and stuff.
Could be, yes. Maybe that's why I learned how to play with Antti in the end.
Yeah.
Because I already played cricket at the age of 9.
There you go.
But table tennis is great though, isn't it? What a great sport.
Yes,
isn't it fun?
It is. Yes, normally it's fun. As I already said, after all these years, I wanted something new. But I think table tennis is a sport which is not as much the same as in other sports. You can always... of course, you need to train everything, but is, I think, more variation than in other sports. Also, if you see all the different playing styles, it always changes a bit. Or if you can practice some footwork, you can practice some receive, you can practice different things. But still, after 15 years,
nothing's perfect.
The same and the same again. But in general, I think table tennis is a very nice sport. Yes.
Who is your role model in table tennis?
Well, actually, I never really had one role model. It was more like, okay, there were different people where I thought I like this attitude of the one person, I like that of the other one, and then in the end, I think it's a combination, but there was never the one person.
Yeah, that's what a lot of players have said on the podcast as well. It's important to kind of steal the best bits from other players, right? It's like, okay, well,
steal the best bits.
Yeah, and then make your own
good,
super player. Yeah. What? So while we've got you here, we want to get what is your one tip you could give to the people out there that would help them improve the most in table tennis? Let's say the amateur player out there. What's like one thing that you'd say that can really help them improve and get better at table tennis? Maybe a hard question on the spot, but.
Somehow now I'd actually say have fun and enjoy it, because I know now in the past 2 months with Antti I've really been enjoying the training, and if you enjoy it you also train and you improve, and if everything is like, oh, I have to,
yeah,
I think that's not so good. Of course, just by enjoying the training, you don't get a professional player, and there always have to be times where you also train when you don't want to train. But I think having fun means you're then also motivated, and you can train better if you're enjoying it.
100%.
You just have better mental setup then. So I think it's very important to enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, I'm sure you'll also improve.
It's a good tip.
For sure. Yeah, I think I need to do that a bit more.
Right, we can do that.
Try and start to play with Antti.
I know, I'm thinking about it already, don't worry.
Let's follow that tip later. We can get a practice in. Have some fun. All right.
Awesome.
We'll wrap it up there then. Sabine, thanks so much for your time. It was really interesting to chat to you, so appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on the cast. So guys, you can check out WTT Singapore Smash on their website, and of course their YouTube channel to catch Sabine Winter and many other players here at the WTT Singapore Smash.
Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the TTDcast on YouTube and Spotify as well.
Thanks for watching, guys.
See you soon.
Thanks for having me.